I want to talk a little bit about Butler, Pennsylvania. Back in 2024, during Trump's campaign, there was an alleged assassination attempt on Don John. And unfortunately, there were 2 deaths during that attempt. Of course, there was the shooter. Thomas Crooks, I think was his name. And then a bystander who was a firefighter. And I don't remember his first name, but the last name was Comparatori. And it doesn't matter that they were at a Trump rally, he and his wife and his kids. There is no reason why a person should die for their political ideologies. Not. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you fall on. It is not a death penalty offense. Now, I said alleged because there has been lots and lots and lots and lots of speculation that it was staged. Matter of fact, the widow of the firefighter, I haven't seen this interview yet, but she feels that it was an inside job. I don't know about an inside job, but I do think in my conspiracy theory mind, and I have one of those every now and then, that it was staged. Because it just, the speculation kind of supports it. In the fact that Trump has ended the investigation into the alleged assassination attempt. Trump is a malignant narcissist, and everybody knows this. If it's not about Trump, he doesn't care. If it doesn't affect him directly, he doesn't care. Hence why he keeps screaming and yelling and bitching and moaning about the 2020 election, that it was stolen. It wasn't. 60 court cases. He lost them all. So it was not stolen. But if this were an actual, genuine assassination attempt, he would be screaming every single day about it. What happened? Why did the guy do it? And blah, 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 blah. Somebody tried to kill me, yada, yada, yada. Every single day. Because that's what he does. He makes it everything all about him. So that was tailor-made for him to make it all about him. This is why I think that it was staged. Because we don't hear about it. He ended the investigation into it. He put the kibosh on it. You know, And he's constantly ballyhooing about illegal immigrants. Oh, they're stealing your jobs. Well, honestly, that is not true at all. They will do jobs that we regular Americans, the ones that were born here, won't do. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the people that hire undocumented folks, they do it because they know they can pay them peanuts. A lot of them are paid less than minimum wage, and the federal minimum wage is 7.25 an hour. $7.25 an hour, which is why it needs to be raised badly. But here's the other thing. It's not like Trump's family tree goes way back on this continent. His grandfather came to this country in the late 1800s, 1885. And then he went back to Germany. But see, he came here for one reason. Okay. It wasn't because the streets were paved with gold. No, he came here. Grandpa Trump came here. Well, yeah. Because he was fleeing Germany to avoid serving in the German military, which was mandatory, by the way. So that's why he came here, because he didn't want to serve in the German military. So that apple just doesn't fall too far from the tree. And of course, he went back, but then he was extradited for not serving his mandatory time in the military, which is why he came back here in 1905. So Don John Trump just comes by draft dodging naturally. But anyway, yeah, these are, well, you can look up online about Trump's grandpappy, grandpa. You can Google it, and it's there. Um, but yeah, I mean, these are my opinions, my musings, things that I just think about every now and then. And then I just want to get it out into the ether. So anyway, this is a little bit of a shorter video. Oh, wait a minute. There was something else. You know, I wanted to talk about accountability. And here's the thing. There's people out there, when I was talking about this alleged um, assassination attempt of Trump. Okay. The one thing I don't want to see, I don't want to see Trump's life ended. I don't. I want to see him live a very long, long life. To 100 maybe, as long as he's not in the White House. But I want to see him live long enough to be held to account for everything that he has done illegal. I want to see him be held to account for the Jeffrey Epstein files and what he was involved with there. I want to see him being held to account for the war crimes that he has committed as president, which includes threatening to bomb civilian infrastructure in Iran. I want to see him held to account for the war crimes he committed in the Caribbean, bombing boats, and the two men that were killed, that were shipwrecked. They survived the initial missile strike, and they bombed them again. So yeah, I want to see Trump held to account. I want to see that man in prison. I mean, why not an orange jumpsuit? Paints his face orange. I don't know on what planet he thinks that looks good, but anyway, no, that's what I want to see. In fact, that is what this country must see. I, I believe, because if he's not held to account, it's just going to leave the door wide open for somebody else to come in and do it again, and do it better with smarter people. And that is something this country just does not need. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And I want to see reforms in Washington, D.C. I want to see some teeth be put into the Constitution to keep something like this from ever happening again. How sharp those teeth? I don't know. Are they going to be just regular sharp teeth, or are they going to be fangs? That's what I want to see. But anyway, my internet friends, this is my rant. This was my rant. My opinion, my musings, whatever. If you could hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. Hit that like button. Awesome. Comment. Awesome. Blue heart in the comments. Awesome. And share. Also. Awesome. And I am going to end this now. And my internet friends, please take care of yourselves wherever you are.